Wednesday night, you know what time it is. Prime time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Welcome to another episode with your boys reporting eligible. Last week, it was an MIA for the both. Life does life at times, and we got to take care of that too. Because there's a lot of people that depend on us, but we're glad to be back on the air with you guys this evening. Unfortunately, our favorite Atlanta Falcon team did suffer, a substantial loss, and we're going to clarify some things. We're going to talk about it. This could turn into event session. This is a one all come all chat. You guys let us know what you feel, please. Translate it onto there, and we'll gladly, go according to as the night progresses. But bro, talk. How are you feeling post Sunday?
Kind of like Raheem. You know what happened. You saw it, couldn't believe it, and all the criticism from the media, all the excuse my French, shit talking from other fan bases on social media. You just got to take it. There's nothing you can say to defend what happened on Sunday. It was harsh. I couldn't, I did all my superstitious things, moving spots while I was sitting, standing. See if that would generate anything for the Falcons. We're gonna talk about it. But I want to let you guys know, like once we talk about it, I'm that game's behind. I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm gonna be looking towards the Commanders.
Absolutely. That's a great attitude. And yes, like this defeat as significant as it was, and we were just talking before we came on air, it just sucks that it happened to our Falcons because it just puts us in the media's perspective, and media dissects and they say their takes and they talk a good talk, right? Some of it is good, some of it is bad. We had guys like Dan Orlovsky, break it down today. He's good at what he talks. I've been following Dan for a very long time, but brother, sometimes, I don't know where he's trying to, drive his point. There's some things he said great, some things I'm like, huh? But needless to say, it just puts us in that scope where anybody who's anybody can talk. But before we jump into any more theory, the third boom is in the house. I'm sure if you were talking with my guy Broto, we're gonna clear that up soon. But yes, going through the chat, Dwayne Ruffin from sunny SoCal. Oh man, gotta get this thing back on track. Looking forward to Sunday, 1000%. Tyreek Johnson, what's going on, Mom? How are you? Glad that you're here with us. Go ahead, buddy.
I want to, special shout out to Corey, Bucks fan, follows me. Pretty level-headed guy. But Corey, I got to talk to you about your Bucks. Okay, They are injury riddled, but you want to talk about how your win against us isn't impressive. You almost lost to the Jets, who was a winless team and hasn't looked impressive all season. You almost lost to the Texans, who hasn't won a game and hasn't looked impressive. The most impressive victory of your 3-0 start is against our Atlanta Falcons. Don't get it twisted, bud.
Oh man, but moving. Alexander, what's going on? Glad to see you guys. Glad to see the guys back on live on stream this week. Hope y'all are feeling better, man. We're trending in the right direction. We definitely appreciate you, Nikki. What's going on, Nikki? You was there last night. It was a bashful event, wasn't it? But shout out to you, Nikki. Appreciate you always supporting. Max Hound Dirty is in the house. What's happening, man? Tyreek goes on to say Panthers media team was trolling us. Let them. They were, they were center stage. They got their participation award. All is good.
They beat us. Good. You can't do it. Simple. Hey, if we would have we trolled the Vikings all week when we beat them.
Sure did. Got to have tough skin, man.
You got to have tough skin, right? All these, I'm going to say, our fellow creators that deactivated their accounts, it's a little weak. You got to be able to take it if you're going to dish it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's true, man. Craig is in the house. He says, Raheem and Zach need to check their egos. Both were just one, but we'll touch on that soon, man. Rod, what's going on, man? Glad you could join us this evening, man. Of course. I mean, this stream is not the stream without our guy here. Jones Bones is in the house. What's up, fellas? It's been a pretty quiet week, huh? Yeah, it really has, man. Oh, man. So, yeah, coming off a eye-opening defeat as it was to the Carolina Panthers, we're going to talk about it. What went right, what went wrong, really, right? So there really wasn't a lot that went right. There was just a lot of fucking wrong. But I'll let you go before we go any further.
There was nothing right offensively. Okay, we can say that there were some right things done defensively. Right, everyone wants to talk about this belt to ass whooping we got.
Oh man,
it's hard for any defense to play good ball and prevent scores when you've got a short field to your back, right? And the offense is turning over the ball, your kicker's missing kicks.
Yeah.
But good things happen, right? We got Bryce on the ground. We were putting pressure. D. Alford redemption arc.
Oh man,
putting the clamps on T-Mac. That was a soft ass pass interference on him.
Oh, very much so.
Very soft. Hey, T-Mac, get big, son. D. Alford's 5'10", nothing. You're 6'4", and you got bodied by one of the smallest corners in the league. That's all I'm going to say. We had some good things, but of course that's going to be overshadowed by all the bad from the offense and special teams.
Wait, hold on. This comment here. Hold on. Zahari, my favorite old heads. Let's go, man. We appreciate you being a part of the stream.
Man, when the mid-30s be old, man? I look good, son.
I'm not flirting with mid-30s, bro. I'm like a stone throw away from 40, but I digress. It's all good. Ghost Peppers, what's going on, man? Carrie's announced with the $1.99 donation. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so very much, Miss Carrie. Hey, bro, Berto and Bro Dog, hoping we bounce back on Sunday. That indeed, very, how can you call it? Very balanced matchup. Two teams that match pretty well offensive and defensively. But we'll dissect that as the stream goes on. I got one more to go at. MacTown Dirty goes, Berto, I applaud you representing at the round table, bro. Yeah, I'm sure that you were witnessing that, bro. It was a 4-on-1 affair, bro. Not fair whatsoever. But I was there, 10 toes down. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I got to stand up for my team. But needless to say, man, yes, as we were talking, you brought up some great points, right? We all expected something to come from this maybe you want to say this Panthers wide receiving core, especially Ted McMillan. Ted McMillan, rookie, came as advertised into the league. Looks to be, one of the better wide receivers in the NFC South, but did have the clamps put on him by our very own D. Alford, who filled in for an injured AJ Terrell and did it very well. Mike Hughes also had a pretty sound game overall. They did move Ted McMillan around, offensively, put him in the slot. Was a mismatch there for Billy Bowman, and we saw that, early on.
Just one play, right? Where he had to hit the Super Mario jump and elevate, right?
Yes.
But that just goes to show you that Bryce Young threw a bad ball and his receiver bailed him out.
Yes.
Simple.
And speaking of Bryce Young, because I hear a lot of the Panthers talk, oh man, Bryce was the ultimate game manager. Brother, if you call 121 passing yards,
that is game manager, brother.
I get it.
Elite. If they
it wasn't elite.
If they start throwing elite out there,
yep, it was thrown. That's the thing that I'm like, yo, what are you seeing? Those are not elite stats. Was he a game manager? 100%. He didn't have to do anything wrong. And you know what? When the pressure was applied, and you mentioned we did get to him, Caden Ellis recorded the only sack of the game. He was confused. When he sees pressure, he rattles. And this is a Falcons team that, sure, defensively, we ranked number 2 overall. So we're expecting these things going forward. But to that offense, Bryce Young didn't do anything spectacular. Now, the run game is kind of where, I saw some things, of course, the Panthers running a lot of power, a lot of whams and blocks. A lot of gap scheme. We're able to take advantage of our smallish defensive line, that being David Onyemata and Rukorowo at the time. Is this going to be a problem going forward? Because as we all know, it's a copycat league, right? So we got to look out for that.
So remember, before the season, we talked about the good and the bad that comes with an attacking style front, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
One of the bad was you're taught to get up the field so much that in gap scheme, that can be a problem because the trap blocks and the counters and the powers and all that, because you're getting so far up the field, you're then flushing yourself out of the play. Well, Commanders coming into town are a heavy gap run scheme team. And even if they don't have Jaden Daniels, Mariota still got some wheels.
Sure does, man.
Right? So it's key for Nate Ollie to get these guys to understand if you get up the field and it's not a pass, you can't get too far up the field.
Yeah.
Being a former defensive lineman, you were taught that. attack, but once you get past the line of scrimmage, past your guy, you need to get square and find the ball.
You do. Right on. Right on, man. Right on. So that's going to present, challenges in its own self, and we'll break down the Commanders a little bit later on. But we got to switch gears and topic to Zach Robinson, Zachariah Robinson, man. Our second-year offensive coordinator has come under some heavy fire, and justified, right? It wasn't the cleanest game planning. He admitted to that, and brother, like anybody who makes a mistake, you got to own up to your mistake and go forward. But brother, man, you've put a lot of pressure on Michael Penix, in my opinion, in this game, in this next game, to really bounce back. And it's kind of unfair going into Penix's seventh start of his career. But to Zach Robinson, man, what happened, man? What is going on with this offense that it's just not clicking? What do you think? Where do you think the lapses are coming from? Is it a Penix not understanding really where Zach's coming from, or is Zach just adding too much to a second-year quarterback that just fully hasn't learned the playbook? If that's fair to say,
it's a combination of both. It's a combination of both. A lot of people, rightfully so, after getting shut out, are criticizing the offense and the use of pistol. One thing that Bones and Damsky and I talked on Twitter was, Orlovsky comment like, Bijan, he's getting the ball 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to get the same. You're going to be 5 to 7 yards off the line of scrimmage under center. Like, that doesn't change anything. But the problem with Zach's offense is there is no threat. You don't establish the run soon enough to have that threat, to hold the edges on those boots, the play actions, pull the linebackers down. I mean, you saw that in those last 3 games last year. Not a lot changed. And Zach being up in the booth, not being able to talk to Mike, because we saw Mike's face.
Oh, man, he was pissed.
He was pissed. He got in his own head. I'm not playing well. And they talked about it, right? One bad play after another, and they just started compiling it. If Mike was on the money, the receivers weren't making the plays. If the receivers were in the right spot, Mike was missing the receiver. So it was so many things, right? Murphy's Law. One thing starts bad happening, all the bad things start happening.
All back.
Right? And that's just what happens. And it's so hard, right? Remember, we're only in week 3. This is Penix's 6th start. I don't think it's too much. I think just last game was you were in your head. You didn't have that OC next to you to talk to you and say, Mike, calm down. You have protection. Let's look at the tablet together. Look, the middle of the field is there. Because when I watch the film, there are guys open. Right?
Sure are.
There are guys open. So Zach's passing concepts can work, right? One of Penix's biggest things coming out of Washington was he lacks attacking the middle of the field, because sometimes he'll question the coverage. And a lot of people questioning Penix mechanics and all that, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to get into that, but
no,
it's a matter of them being cohesive, right? We talked, Raheem talked about it. They mesh well in practice. They're talking. Penix looks good. The energy's there. But then when you have a game like this and you're not able to be next to your guy, that's where it becomes hard, right? It's just the criticism is warranted because of what happened. Okay. But I think it's being overblown ever so slightly when it comes to the pistol. I do agree there needs to be some more creativity under center, shotgun, I formation. You're already seeing it with Charlie Warner lined up in the backfield with Bijan. You're seeing those things, right? So now you got to make one thing that looks the same, but is completely different. And that's what Zach's not doing. And so getting out of the booth, not only talking to Michael, talking to the offensive line, talking to the receivers, talking to the tight ends. What are you seeing out there that I'm not seeing? What's this guy doing on this concept? Oh, he's playing the outside leverage, and then the linebacker is dropping over. Okay, like those kind of things and those conversations happening in place of the booth, right? Having a middleman talking, what's his name? Zach Robinson talking to the position coach, and the position coach is talking to the players.
Yeah, that's too much information, man.
That gets eliminated.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you spoke about creativity. Did you see anything? Because I'll tell you, I did see some concepts that I haven't seen in a while in this offense. And I think one is it's the crossing right or the scissors route
The
on
scissors.
one play. Yeah, it was flooded towards the left hand side on the left hand side. Ray McCloud was open a bunch in this game. Kyle Pitts was open a lot in this game, and more specifically, Darnell Mooney was man. I just felt like Penix was rushing too much in his progressions and in his throws. He did, and I know you don't want to get into the mechanics or the specifics of it, and that's okay. But I just felt like if he had better posture, better base, he would have accurately got those passes and completed them with more air. I just felt like he relied too much on his arm strength, and that doomed him on a lot of the plays. So it sounds like we may be trying to scapegoat a situation, no pun intended, to the gentleman we'll speak to about momentarily. But I felt like, schematically, Zach did some good things in this game that if Penix was to hit on any of them, we're talking a different ball game here. A very different ball game.
Well, and it doesn't help, like we talked about. Yes, Darnell Mooney was open. He was open more than once, but he didn't help his quarterback.
No,
right?
Man.
He got in his own head. Man. He got in his own head as well, right?
Yeah.
Drake wasn't in spots that Penix wanted to. We talk about the mechanics, right? And someone pointed it out. When you don't have proper mechanics, it's hard to – the accuracy numbers go down.
Mm-hmm.
And Penix tries to laser pinpoint all his throws. And we talked about it, right? Penix doesn't need to, completely fastball every single pass. He needs to understand that he can – loft it, layer it, give it a little bit of air so his receiver can go get it. We saw it last season, so I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Now, again, this could be an anomaly because he got frustrated. He felt like he had to be Superman and bring his team out of the hole. That mistakes started happening, inaccuracy started happening. He started losing his mechanics. So many things go in these types of things. And as long as Michael and Zach and the whole offense can eliminate that from their minds and say, this is a brand new week. All we have to do is get 1-0 in week 4. Then we move on to the bye week. Okay, now we start compiling on that. You go into the bye week with a nice win against a playoff team from last season. I don't care. Injuries don't care. Everybody has injuries. Right. You get a nice win against Washington, against an old Falcons head coach, against a quarterback that quit this franchise. Okay, yeah. You go into the bye week with some confidence. Let's build off of that because then guess what? We have a juggernaut we're about to face in week 6.
Yeah, man, that's not going to be easy. That's not going to be easy one bit. And then, of course, when blowouts like this do occur, sometimes franchises make irrational moves. I think like you, like myself, and a lot of people felt it was an irrational, bold move to get rid of Ike Hilliard. What was the reasoning behind getting rid of a guy that, helped and guided Darnell Mooney to his best statistical year in 2 or 3 years? Drake London broke out. Ray McCloud had close to 700 yards. And you get rid of him. Why? I mean, I know we spoke about maybe it's receivers being in their spots. And there was a couple where, there was communication breakdown with Penix and Ray, where Penix felt Ray should have been in a certain spot, and he wasn't. And then you think just back to last year, and you talked about this with Chris Blair, him missing his spot or his route. Are those things but we're not seeing those type of things really translate on a game-to-game basis. So we question why, or what do you think, or what do you feel it was the reason why they got rid of Ike Hilliard, man?
So here's my theory, right? And I could just be talking out of my ass. No, I didn't hear this from anyone. This is just something I compiled in my mind because it doesn't make sense that, yes, statistically you had some of the 2 best wide receivers. You almost had 2 1,000-yard receivers in Darnell Mooney and Drake London, right? And then, yes, you're struggling in 3 weeks of football, and then you just fire him, right? Where's the continuity in there? So then I start thinking like, okay, something had to lead this. And some people would be like, no, you're delusional. It's just a scapegoat move. Okay, but the wide receivers coach, that seems odd, right? So It made me think, is there something going on behind the scenes that no one is talking about?
Right.
That's been happening that has been an issue since last year. Okay. I always like to put this in perspective that the normal person can understand. If you have a boss that has come to you and said, you are not doing this correctly, multiple times and it continues into, let's say, the next quarter of your business or whatever you're working in, what do you think said boss is going to do? You're not
Let him go,
it.
baby.
You're not improving. Your people are not improving. You're out of here. So that makes me think, okay, what did Ike Hilliard not fix in the receiver group? Warren Sharp. Does everyone know who Warren Sharp is? On Twitter, right? He puts a lot of statistical things. The Falcons ranked 3rd last year in percentages in wide receiver errors that resulted in incompletions. 3rd in the league. Okay. Now you look at this season, there are receivers, right? Think about the Vikings game. Darnell Mooney and Ray both outbreak in the red zone too deep. And Michael puts it at the pylon. If they break shorter, hey, guess what? That's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown, man. Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. What happened against Carolina? Ray goes in. Michael throws it out in the open void. Who's wrong, right? That's why I think there's a bigger issue that Raheem finally said, okay, it's not getting better. It's only week 3. But you got to go. I got to change something to improve something. So then you bring TJ Yates to talk with the receivers, right? And everyone's like, well, he's a former quarterback. He only coached the receivers for a year. If a former quarterback is telling your receivers and coaching them on what a quarterback is seeing, don't you think that's going to improve their landmarks?
Very beneficial.
How to hit their landmarks on a quicker basis? I'm not saying what Raheem did was right. This is just me theorizing on what could have caused this move. Again, nobody has told me this from the organization. This is just my theory on why Ike Hilliard may have been let go. There may have been a bigger underlying issue that the media will never know, right?
Yeah,
but people will scrutinize. Oh, Raheem's panicking. He's starting to scapegoat guys. That may not be the case. It may be the case, but it might not be.
May not. And then now TJ Yates goes back to his original position of when he was hired with the Falcons in 22, where he helped guide Drake London in his rookie year to stats of 700 plus yards receiving. I think that year that Drake had as a rookie. So, they're familiar. Now he has to get himself acclimated with the likes of Darnell Mooney and Ray McLeod, maybe even some Kyle Pitts, who was already on the team. So who knows? We may see, better route running, better spots, the wide receivers understanding when to break, on a route. Who knows? We got to give it this Washington Commanders, game to understand what's fully going on. But I got to jump back into the chat. There's a lot of people in here. We truly appreciate everybody coming through this evening, man. Craig goes on to say, if we lose this week to Quinn and Mariota, all I got to say is, oh, Lord. We're with you, brother.
All bets are off. And when do teams normally make a coaching change? Heading into a bye week.
Man. Rod says, easy question to answer. Zach Robinson, Raheem were the only things that went wrong in this game. I think it's mainly more on Zach.
Listen, you could be the best coach possible. Right? Everybody loves to rave about the Ravens. Oh, Georgia Bulldog.
Oh my God.
Georgia Bulldog Todd Monken, right? Everybody loves to rave about these guys, right? What happened on Sunday? It's the coach's fault, right?
Yeah.
It's the coach's fault. Todd Monken, it's his fault in John Harbaugh's game. Not the fact that the offensive line could block. Not the fact that receivers were not, getting open. Not the fact that Lamar Jackson missed his spots, right? Sometimes it's just the players not executing. I'm not saying our coaching staff is scot-free. No, they need to be criticized, but it's not all on them. The players have to go out and perform as well.
Absolutely, man. Tariq goes on to say we afford to lose Mariota, the same guy who quit on us. I don't think we're gonna lose him, man. I'm just being honest, man. Chris says Jalen Hurts is elite.
Oh, it's my brother. What are you doing in here? That's my brother.
That's
my brother. That's my brother. Get out of here.
Shout out, bro. Get out of here, brother, man. Shout out, Chris, man.
I had to read the name and then I realized who it was. Get out of here.
Yeah, he got another one for you right there. Oh, Lord.
Quarterback. Not this year, though. He's losing me games, man. That's why I didn't draft him previously.
Oh, man. Bones goes on. Our run offense is also part of Our run offense is also part of the run defense. If we're not controlling the clock and scoring, it gives them a chance to run on us. And hold on, because Carey comes on to say, something here about the run game also. I got to highlight what she said because it kind of ties in to what Bones is saying. Why did we abandon the run game halftime? It was only 10-0. Bijan had 13 carries, and Tyler with 1 carry is criminal in her opinion. Why not have the run game to help the quarterback who is struggling? And these both are very valid points. Listen, what we saw was a Sunday night, the Ravens and Lions, that combination on how Montgomery and Gibbs is ran, man, this is exactly what Atlanta should be doing. And not that Jared Goff needs help as a quarterback, but God damn it, to their points, your quarterback is struggling. Your O-line is decent. It ranks top 6. The run game is still what it is. It's still good. Why not rely on that more to open up these pass lanes, to open up, softer coverages towards defenses? What is it that Zach can adapt to? When it comes to these situations, why does he panic? That's the thing I can't wrap my head around, man.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was like I was pissed because I see Tyler Algier only get 1 carry. Right, we saw last year
crazy
what happened in Carolina. Right, we ran it down their throats.
Oh my god!
And I thought we would be doing the same thing. Right, Carolina. The defense, like you said, they didn't do anything special. The guys were winning blocks. Did Carolina win some? Yeah, of course.
Sure.
That's part of the game. But you had no flow, right? You opened up the game with 4 straight passes.
Yeah,
right?
That's so
You're
not
trying
us,
to air
man.
it out because the media is saying, oh, why are you limiting Penix? Why are you running the ball? Forget the outside noise. You are there to coach to win a game. And if your strength right now is the running game, refer to 2008, 2009 Matt Ryan, where they relied heavily on the burner Turner, right? You have one of the best running backs in the league and the best second running back in the league, a top 2 duo in the league, not 2, and you're not utilizing them.
You're not. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. The man's what's happening. He says, Berto Bro Talk, what's up, gents? Things turn around in our favor. I can assure you of that. That optimism we definitely do enjoy to hear. Do y'all think the Bens would have booed the team if we played the way how we did last week if it was at home? 1,000%. 1,000%.
You should have booed them.
You should.
You should have booed them, right? I thought about saying that.
Yep. Matt goes on to say, honestly, spot on. Don't even mention the drops these guys have had since Penix came in. Josh says, got to mix up the playbook. We have some alarming stats, 93% pass rate out of the shotgun, 70% run rate out of the pistol, 4th lowest in play action. That's the one that gets me the most, is the 4th lowest play action. And this is coming off a year that we were bottom in the league in that stat as well. Last in the entire league in deep throw rate. And, we don't know why. With Penix's arm talent, we should be trying to push the ball down the field a little bit more. But let's kill a narrative or kill a thought. Shotgun, same as pistol, yay or nay?
No.
Okay.
Some players will tell you it's the same thing, but it's different when you turn your back to hand it off versus putting it right here.
Put it out. Got it.
It's different motions, right? Because then the eyes of the defender is, they have to keep an eye. But at the same time, you can say the same thing about the pistol. You fake the handoff, you keep the ball. The running back does a good job of selling the run. It's just you have to marry these things, and it just wasn't marrying in week 3.
It really wasn't, man. We have a question here from Atlanta Sports Zone. What is going on, folks? Hope all y'all are doing well, man. Appreciate you y'all enjoying joining the stream, enjoying the stream as well. Do you think Jaden Daniels will play this weekend? I don't think so. He did return to practice today. His mobility was what it was, very limited. I'm bracing myself more so for Marcus Mariota. He was very candid, was Jaden Daniels in his press conference when questions were being asked, kind of leaving it as a cliffhanger. But I feel like he won't play this week for sure. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say it's you got to protect your young quarterback if you're Washington, right? If he's not 100%, don't put him out there, right?
Don't.
If anything, Dan Quinn knows that Ulbrich is blitzing at the second highest rate in the league, and he's putting pressure on quarterbacks.
He sure is.
If your quarterback that's mobile is not 100% in his knee, okay, he's going to take some unnecessary shots. We saw what Green Bay was able to do. right? Twist, stunt,
So,
and they were creating a whole lot of havoc for Jaden Daniels. Now, I don't think the Falcons are quite at that level yet, but they can do similar things, right? The biggest thing is, and why Bryce Young had success, was the quick throws were there. The quick throws were there. So they're able to get the ball out in under 2.5 seconds. So then that eliminates any type of blitz or any type of pressure. So it's just going to be key. But I don't think he plays. You got to it's the same thing. If Penix had something like that, I'd be like, don't play him. Just rest, right? You have a long career you got to protect, right? It's the whole RG3 thing. You think Washington fans want a quarterback with a bad knee to get in?
Oh my God, no!
Right? Deja vu for them.
Deja vu all over, man. Yeah. And credit to the Washington offensive line. They've only given up 8 sacks this year. Traditionally, they're high up there in sack allowance, but this year it's just 3 games. We got to give it time.
You got to remember they have one of the second best mobile quarterbacks behind Lamar
Jackson. For sure, 100%. Now I got to throw this out there as a spinoff, so to say, to Sir Zachary Robinson or Zach Robinson. I know that you have your ears to the streets and your eyes glued to the set. Are you buying the rumor of Zach Robinson possibly bolting the Falcons for Oklahoma State?
No.
Okay.
I don't buy the rumors, right? He has no head coaching experience. Sure, he's been a coordinator for 2 years in the league, but I think Oklahoma State goes a different way. I think boosters will heavily influence, like, go get him, go hit him, former Oklahoma State quarterback, but I don't. And if I were Zach, if it were me, I'd be like, I'm not ready. But sometimes when a head coaching gig comes open, you take it, and some fans will be like, you know what? See you later. We'll get someone else.
Yeah.
Who? I hope it's from the outside because I don't think TJ Yates is ready.
Yeah. Just had to throw that out there because that's one of those. That's the unfortunate thing, right? Because you get obviously put in the spotlight like this. Moves are made in the collegiate levels, and they look at alma maters, and of course, Zach Robinson having played there, his name will always be tied to that college team. Another narrative that we have to kill too. The Kirk Cousins situation coming back alive and well around in Atlanta. Dude, when I saw that by Yahoo Sports, I said, what in the F are we doing here? Even Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan was like, what are we doing here? That is not happening. But no, that is absolutely the media. That's the shit that I hate when stuff like this happens is you get put under the scope. And everybody wants to hyper-focus, come up with narratives, come up with bullshit stories to just bury the team a little bit more. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. What is going on? What's happening, man? We got to get your nephew going. We got to get him going, man. We got to get him going. We see what impact he has when he's given the rock. Him and Bijan do a great job. 1-2 punch there, man. The man says, Dan, breakdown of the pistol formation was eye-opening, and that's another thing with Zach. He says that he's spoken to so many coordinators around the league, and the pistol is one of the harder offenses to concept for defensively. I don't know how much you buy into that sort of statement. It's a ever-changing philosophy week in and week out. Not every pistol formation is going to have the same offense output. So to that, what do you feel about those comments by Zach that him speaking to these coordinators a while ago is the reason why the Falcons run it so much?
I mean, I think it's just talk at this point. a defensive coordinator will point you in the direction of a Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, even Washington Commanders, Green Bay Packers, those top offensive units. Those are offenses that will keep you on your heels. Now you get an elite defense, right? We saw what Cleveland was able to do to Green Bay and upset them, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just at this point, I'm just like, just show that we can be better. Put it out there. Show me that coming out of the booth was good. There's a lot of panic, right, guys? It's week 3, right? Mm-hmm. We were 1-2 last year at this point, and that's when we went on our run. Okay, There's nothing that says we can't do the same thing. We have an improved defense. EPA-wise, we are a top 5 unit. Yards-wise, we're a top 2 unit behind the Cleveland Browns and Jim Schwartz's unit, right? So defense is doing their job. You just bring the back along. Okay, now we're back in gear. And a lot of people are, how can people be picking the Falcons? Because I'm gonna say this quote: sports are fluid. Just because something happened one week does not make it true the following week. It's like water. Water is fluid. You put it in one cup, it's going to look different in another cup. It may overflow in this one, but it may be at the bottom over here. It's anything can change. That's what's beautiful about the sport. Everyone can say this team is going to be terrible after one performance, right? A la the Minnesota Vikings against us.
Yeah, man.
Terrible. And then what they do? They came out and put a true belt to ass to a Bengals team who was 2-0, and everyone's like, "Oh, this Bengals team,
they're not bad.
They may not be that bad." It's like, with the real Bengals, please show up. And they did, right? And that's why sports are fluid. Things can change week to week. That's why you hear a lot of coaches say, "We just need to go 1-0 this week."
That's it. That's the best mindset to have.
Week and go and perform, right? Last week is last week. Minnesota, last week was last week. We won. This week we got our asses whooped. Now we're on to week 4.
And on to week 4 we shall go, putting this Carolina Panther game in hindsight. And I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I know that there's a matchup coming around very soon in November. So
you're looking for some revenge there.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But turning dial, we do have the Washington Commanders this weekend. You know, and I've seen a lot of spicy talk already from the Commanders saying, "Oh, this is an easy dub. This is a cakewalk." Again, the sports is fluid comment really doesn't resonate with them, right? What they did one week or last week against the Raiders might not work against our Atlanta Falcons, right? And vice versa. The same ass whooping that we took might not be the same this week, but the game will be played, and it's a homecoming of some sort. Dan Quinn, the slogan king, embrace the suck himself, is back at the Benz alongside the quitter there, Marcus Mariota, who had a great performance against the Raiders. Had 110 passer rating, and threw for only 207 yards, improvised a lot, used his legs a lot, and that's something that the Falcons have to keep in check, if you can agree with that. Mobile quarterbacks have been an Achilles heel of some sort for this Falcons defense. So mainly our edges have to be, on their A game, especially this week against Mariota, who's a scrambler. Going into that game, the Commanders are severely limited. Noah Brown, their third wide receiver, has some soft tissue injuries. His status is to be determined. Terry McLaurin is in actual out. He's getting more opinions on that quad.
Oh, they did. They ruled him out already?
He's out. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
He's definitely out. Marshawn Lattimore is coming off concussion protocol. He might be a green light for Sunday. And then, of course, Jaden Daniels, we don't know, but I think we all do know that he might be out this week versus the Falcons at the Benz. So, again, the Commanders and the Falcons. What needs to happen for Atlanta, to right their wrongs, really, from last week's performance? I'll turn it over to you. What do you feel like Atlanta is their number one thing going into this weekend? What do they need to do?
Show the league and the fans that they can have a competent offense. Show that they can move the ball and actually score, right? We want touchdowns, not field goals, right? Parker Romo coming off of a 5-5, performance, and getting an 0-2, and everyone wants to put the magnifying glass on him. No, it needs to be on the offense. Why are you putting him in these long field goal situations? And even
good point.
Why are you not converting in the red zone, right? That's the biggest focal point. You need to show the fans and the media that you can do this, right?
Yep.
And if you can't, well, yeah, okay, maybe it's time to start hitting the panic button. But that's where I would start. That's where I would start.
All right.
And if anything, last week on special teams and the kickoffs, Marquise Williams, his eyes should have opened up by the way the Panthers kicker was knuckleballing that ball down.
Yeah.
It was bouncing everywhere, and our guys just could not get it down. It's hard to be a returner when things like that are happening. And then, just like Zach Robinson, you didn't make any adjustments. right?
Mm.
So that's what I'm looking for. Defense, just play how you've been playing, and we'll be okay.
Yeah. So let me run some stats on you now that you speak on defense and this. Oh, wait, we can't get into anything without the dish reveal.
Sorry, we got grilled chicken with some grilled zucchini and some fresh made pasta.
Jesus, I mean, like, my God, what time is it over there, guy?
It's 8:45. I mean, I'm having a late dinner.
8:45. Okay, I mean, Jesus, that makes me feel a little bit better in my household. It's 9:45. So, goddamn, dude. But shout out the wife. That's a W for the wife there. Mrs. Bro Talk definitely always coming through. But entering in this game here, yeah, sure, it's going into week 4, but we're seeing stats by Jeff Ulbrich, Nate Ollie in this defense that we haven't seen in a very long time. And I'll run the stats, man. It's pretty cool, man. So total defense, the Falcons are ranked number 2. Total pass defense, ranked number 1 in the league so far. We're a top 10 rush defense unit, and that's where it can get a little bit dicey. And shout out Avian from Twitter, because he brought up a point. You know, the fear will be where we face a defensive line that likes to get upfield too, that can, that can press these offensive linemen. And Washington does host that. You know, their rush defense, I think it's like top 10 as well coming into this game. So it's going to be a battle of the trenches. Scoring defense, the Falcons ranked number 13th. Defensive wise in the red zone, 19th, and Washington can put up points. So there's some factors there. Like, we have to really get after Mariota or Jaden. Got to throw his name out there just in case, by the stroke of some imagination, he does play. But we have to be sound defensively against this Washington team, man. Hold on, let me see. I see something here. Stop Deebo Samuel and make Marcus Mariota look like the 2022 Falcon Panthers game Thursday night ground press. I hope to God we are able to do that against him, man. We definitely need to right some wrongs, man, with that one. But, you know, it's going to be an interesting matchup. I rely heavily on the Falcons coming out and flexing their defensive muscle. Maybe we could get some bounce back game from guys like James Pierce and Arnold Ebiketie and Leonard Floyd, who Leonard Floyd was non-existent in the game on Sunday. I'm sorry. I don't recall him really, unless you know, I was up and down, but
he put a hit on Bryce pretty early in the game.
Okay, so that's me not recognizing the goddamn number, because I thought that one was James Pierce. I'm sorry. So yes, that was Leonard Floyd. All right, but at that, I still feel like, you know, defensively the Falcons have to they have to make a statement game on this one, and offensively, just definitely get back to what works, man. Got to get back to what works. Got to mix in the run better with the pass. I'll stick to that, man. I'm a firm believer, and, you know, relying on what works best to help everything else around. And I think that's synonymous with everybody, man.
Yeah, well said.
Go into the chat right quick. What do you guys think if Mike McDaniel became available? What do you think about him as an OC? I mean, we got Zach. Zach, he runs a variations of all of this.
So you guys complain about play action, right? And how we don't run it. Yeah,
we're right there.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel and Zach Robinson are identical, so it wouldn't be a difference. Would there be different passing concepts? Sure, but Mike McDaniel's offense thrives on speed, and besides Darnell Mooney, we don't have it. We have size.
T-Rose, what are you doing? 1-2 Commanders coming for you.
Who's that?
T-Rose. I don't know who T-Rose is, but shout out to you. Thank you for joining the chat, man. Appreciate it. Oh, man. It's only appropriate that we have a defense and the offense and special teams shit the bed. Hey, man, it's just, at this point right now, that's exactly what it's looking like. Who are you most excited this weekend defensively? Who do you think can actually step up in this one? Again, this is a Redskins offensive line. Sure, that's only given up 8 sacks. But they do have mobility at that quarterback position. But who do you see defensively stepping up in the big way in this game?
Divine Diablo. Because I think we're going to get pressure on the quarterback, and he's going to be crucial when that quarterback does escape from time to time to bring them down. We saw that a lot.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield in week 1, where Divine was playing like a rat zone, but also spying him. And he was able to step up and force Baker to throw. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want Mariota to feel rushed and have to make an errant throw and then potentially go for, one of our ball hawks on the defensive side in the secondary, go get an interception. So Divine Diablo for me.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I'll say for me, it's either one of our safeties. It's Watts or it's Jesse Bates. I want something from Jesse Bates because I think that Watts has popped a little bit more.
Real quiet this year.
Very quiet, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Xavier has popped more than Jesse. So hopefully we're on the cusp of a Jesse Bates breakout game in 2025. And it's weird to say because it's been a slow start for our veteran safety there. So I'll hang my hat on that one.
Maybe it's a good thing that he's not having to be the guy all the time because we have more talent.
We have more pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
So you could spin it that way and look at it that way.
Yeah. So it's safe to say also, too, that, we might see another game without A.J. Terrell. So I feel good about D. Alford on the boundaries alongside Mike Hughes in the matchup against these wide receivers. I mean, Debo is just a gadget, right? But, you could limit him. It's just Cliff Kingsbury, he moves them around consistently, and he tries to find the mismatches. But like you mentioned, we do have more pieces on this defense. We have more talents. I think our talent on the back end can negate the yak and the would be quick completions and complete passes overall on Debo Samuel and that wide receiver core come on Sunday. Now, offensively, where do you start? Where's one guy that has to step up on Sunday? Probably obvious answer.
Yeah, the top guy, the offensive coordinator. You got to step up. You got to be there and put your guys in a situation where they can be successful. If the players are getting in their own way, you as the head guy, right? You as the teacher of the offense and the players. Shout out to my brother.
We know why you're saying that.
Yeah, I know why he's saying that. So he just needs to make it easy, right? And not this dink and dunk easy. I'm talking about making the defense go one way. A Dan Quinn heavy zone defense. Heavy zone, right? Yep. Cover 3, right? Cover 3 with a lot of middle of the field coverage, right? This is a defense where if you want to attack the numbers, right?
This is the one.
This is the one.
Yep.
So
100%, man.
That's why I think a bounce back game can happen. It's just a matter of, can the OC step up?
Can the OC step up? Absolutely, man. I mean, it's been a quiet year thus far for all of our pass catches, but I'm gonna stick. Yeah, sure. I agree with you. Of course, Zach Robinson definitely has to put last week's ghost behind him and show his worth going forward. For me, I feel like once Pitts gets going, I think it's gonna do wonders for this damn offense. I just feel like it has, like it's going to, man. I just feel like, you had a touchdown against the Vikings. You had some significant yardage left on the field with, targeting Pitts on Sunday. You got to go to that. I want to see that connection come to life.
Yep.
And I think for me, if Pitts gets going in this game, it can get out of the Commanders' reach pretty early, man, because I don't think Mariota's the type of quarterback that can play back from behind. We've seen that.
We saw that.
We saw that.
Atlanta.
We saw that when he was in Atlanta. That's the type of pressure that we have to put on Mariota and company in that offense. So play it down to our strength, which right now is our number 2 ranked defense. I like saying that.
Yep. Oh,
Jones Bones, he says, I hope we see tempo from our offense. Sure, Washington defense is really basic when they don't have time pre-snap. Yes, a lot of cover 3, very Legion of Boone type shit, man. That cover 3 scheme.
Bobby Wagner in coverage. That man is slow as ever. Still good run defender.
Still run.
Low.
Yeah, he's become a Levante David, so to say, around the league now. Because Levante David, he had a pretty bad game on Sunday versus the Jets, man. You could tell age is definitely creeping up on him. But, hey, we'll see what happens, man. All right. Sports Zone says, what do you think the biggest difference is for Zach this year versus last year? I feel like he had a pretty good flow last year. I think it's just he had a veteran quarterback that knew, how to run that style of offense that he wanted versus, a QB, a second year QB that's still learning the ropes. You can take that for, however
last
however
year
it comes out, man.
I feel like we still had a slow start to the year offensively, even with Kurt, right?
Even
a
with
lot
Kurt.
of people were like, "Oh, it's the Achilles, it's this, it's too much pistol, not enough shotgun," those type of things. But we've seen the Rams offense, where's that come from? Even having Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford start off slow, it's just a matter of getting the wheels to turn and catching fire at the right time. You can do that going into a bye and then continue going on that way.
Yeah, man. Awesome stuff. ATLGA Faithful, man. Another Falcons content creator in the house, man. Make sure you go visit ATLGA Faithful on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. He says, bruh, let's go, man. And let's go is right. And yeah, got to bring this up, man. Wilkerson's play hasn't been bad. He's played actually pretty good. Yeah, sure. He whiffed a couple times against Nick Scowerton on Sunday, who drew his first start in Princely Human Yellen. But otherwise, he has held his own. So I'm good with the state of the offensive line still. They're still producing. I think they still rank inside of the top 10 as far as the NFL. So we're good.
They've been very good. They've surprised a lot of people. Everyone thought the sky was falling when Caleb McGarry's injury happened. And, the offensive line would be even better with him there. But Elijah's done a good job of stepping up in the absence of McGarry. And the offensive line as a whole has done a really good job having two new players starting this year, and the whole continuity of it. It's just the other pieces need to get put together, right? Be like, besides running back, the offensive line has been the best of the offensive as a whole, right? Your running backs have been your best, then your offensive line, and then we don't really know who else.
Yeah. We're going to be closing up shop soon here. We're going to take this one here from Jones. He says, Zach did say something I agree with today. They need to simplify the offense. I think they need less variety in their formations and more motions, more variety in their plays they run. Yeah, we do motion a lot, but off those motions, man, we don't run anything. Yeah, it's not doing anything, man. So it's a wash concept for me, man. Got to start running more play action and more dink and dunks. I mean, Jesus, man, that's a great outlet to have, and we have a skill set in Bijan that can definitely make the opposing defense pay for it too. So I don't know, man. Let's see here. 3 Dirty. What 3 Dirty, man? What's going on, man? Hope all has been well with you, man. Glad to see you up here tonight, man. Last game with the team was a shootout. Can we slow them down? Yeah, I think we can. I think, the number 2 pass defense, number 1 ranked passing defense will have a lot to say on Sunday. And that's going to be minus, like I mentioned, AJ Terrell. So, this is a passing offensive that ranks 20th in the league by the Commanders. I think you tip the cap in favor for the Falcons in slowing down that offense on Sunday.
I think we can do it.
Yeah.
Sports are fluid. Everything can. Did you touch?
Here's a question for you.
Yeah. Did you touch more on that Carolina game pick you posted on Twitter with Jake on the right side? So for
that unbalanced look.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, right, that was on purpose. Some people were like, why the hell is Jake on the wrong side? That was on purpose. It's an unbalanced line. You're overloading one side. Whether or not they were going to run it to that side, that's the biggest gripe with Zach, right? You're showing them this look. What's the defense looking? What's the defense thinking? Well, they've got Chris. They've got, Elijah. Now they've got Matthews, right? They're going to run it this way with Tyler, right? So then it's marrying all those things. That was the first time I've seen Zach throw out that formation.
Yeah.
So that tells me, okay, we could potentially see more from that. Unfortunately for Michael, either he didn't hear the play properly, he didn't like what the defense was presenting them. Another thing that I think him coming down from the booth is going to help is breaking the huddle with more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, man, that's been bad.
It's been bad, and so much so where we're burning timeouts to not lose yards. And then Michael doesn't have a chance to Look at the leverage of the corner. What's this guy doing? Where are the safeties aligning pre-snap? Okay, I've seen what they've done against this formation because of the film I watched. He doesn't have time. He just has to hope the guys are there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I saw that in Carolina, where it's like maybe that's why he wasn't attacking the middle of the field, because he wasn't having enough time to read the defense pre-snap. So
very good, man. So we're gonna close up shop with this one, but we need y'all help with this one. Score prediction time.
ooh.
Score prediction time. Now, the Commanders they're coming off a 40-point plus performance against the Raiders.
Yeah.
But that's the Raiders.
That's the Raiders.
That's the Raiders. Against our Atlanta Falcons, hell no. I don't think they put up 40. I don't think they put up 30. I don't even think they put up 20.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy.
Hey, right, listen, man.
Give it to me.
Let me see. They're limited, much like how we are. I said, give me 21-24 Falcons. It has to be the bounce back game. It has to be. We can only do better in this game. That's all I hang my hat on.
You hit bottom. The only way from rock bottom is up.
That's it, right? Man.
So for me, right?
All right. Oh shit, we got a 30 burger here.
No, I don't think that happens yet. But I do think Atlanta bounces back.
Yeah.
I do think they bounce back, right?
Gotcha.
Anyone that's ever played sports knows what an ugly loss feels like. You're just in disbelief, right? So I think the preparation will be better. I think the execution will be better. Will it be perfect? No. Okay. Don't expect perfection, because no one is perfect on this earth, right? I do think the Falcons can pull away a victory, go into the bye 2-2, right? We all talked about this preseason. 2-2 is probably the best scenario possible for the Atlanta Falcons, right? So for me, I'm going to go Falcons 28, Commanders 24.
Oh, wow. Nice. Good score. Good score. Now I got to address this one here. Kevin Martinez, thank you for joining the chat this evening. Just trade Pitts if we are not going to use them. I don't think, this comment would be made if we made those connections with Pitts. Pitts has been a factor in the past game. It's just we haven't connected, and it's going to come. I think that connection is going to come. I don't think the Falcons do part ways with him at all.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, unless knock on wood. Right, a catastrophic things happens in the season, and then trade deadline hits, and then we start hitting the fire sale.
Yeah, man. Good point, y'all. Atlanta 27, Commanders 17. I like it. T. Terry 24-17. D says to make a statement, 34-20 Falcons. Realistically, 24-17 Falcons. Okay. Hey,
who did we play prior to the Giants game?
Last year?
Yeah. Was it the Raiders?
It was the Raiders, yeah.
So we won, right? But it was an ugly win, right? And what
against
happened?
The Raiders, yeah.
What happened? Yep. 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
Michael Penix,
debut.
So there's nothing that says that can't happen, right?
Exactly.
It's just a matter of just please go out there and execute, please, for the sake of all of us.
I mean, we don't have Matthew Judon to score a TD on the defense.
That's right. We upgraded. We got James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. We see what the Orange Fleas are doing for the Dolphins at 0-3, right?
Dude, he looks like a fucking airport guy, just doing the runway shit, bro. It's bad.
His feet look like they're stuck in sand the way he runs.
They do, man. It's like he never regained shape from last year at all. At all. It's bad. It's sad to see, man. Craig says 31-17 Falcons.
Wow.
Bones goes on to say 24-17 Falcons. I think Mariota is due for a couple turnovers, yes, and Penix takes care better of the ball. I like it.
And look at this. Watch what happens. The wide receivers, they go off, right? And then everyone's going to be like, huh, maybe it was an eye Killiard problem. Watch how the narrative flips.
Redemption.
Watch how the narrative flips, bro.
Oh,
Sports are fluid. It's a week-to-week league.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you got to just keep your emotions in check, man. So, yeah, for sure. Carrie says, Falcons win. Not a score, just that the Falcons win. That's all I got. I'm not giving a score prediction after what they did to me last week. Very valid, Carrie. Very valid. Oh, man. Colin E says 27-20 Atlanta. I like that score. I like it. I like it. We appreciate you so much, Carrie. Thank you so much. And that's going to conclude this. Wait, hold up. I got one more here. Brother, we need to be the only W on the NFC South so we can burn the NFC South roundtable. Tired of the disrespect,
look
brother.
Look at this. Okay, so look, it can't happen. Okay, it can't happen. Watch.
100%.
Who do the Aints play? The Bills.
The Bills.
Oh,
yeah?
In Buffalo. Yeah. No
Not
shot.
winning.
The Panthers head to Foxborough to pay the Patriots. Ooh. That's more of an even matchup, but I like the Patriots. Panther fans are like, we just 30-piece the Falcons, and they're not giving us respect. It's because you're not that good, brother. You had a good week. We had a bad one. That's what happened, right?
That happened. Shit happened.
Why are we still ranked below the Falcons? Because you're not that good, and the Falcons had a bad week, right? So I got the Patriots. The big one, though, is the Eagles, who have struggled. I'm telling you, struggled every year against the Buccaneers. They head to Tampa. But
what's up, Gerald?
But
shout out, brother.
I think we saw the Eagles getting their asses whooped by the Rams and then come out and stun the world with their comeback. They can do it again. Give me I do like the Falcons being the only one to win this week for the NFC South.
Bro, you know what's funny? So, yes, the Panthers do come to town, right? So the buses come right in front of my job. So where I work, I have a highway view. So I see the buses come. So all the visitors that come to Gillette Stadium, they all land at TF Green, which is an airport here in Providence, Rhode Island. And it's like a stone throw away from my job. So I see it. There's overpasses on the bridges, man. I might throw a spiked belt.
Hold on. Hey. Maybe a tomato. That's it.
I got to get redemption for the shit that I went through last night, man.
Oh, we're on to week 4. We're on to week 4.
Hey, man, it still stinks. But nonetheless, man, it's good shit. Knuckles MMA says Bro Talk is going to have a Falcons kind of performance in our race. Just saying.
I'm going to be D. Alfred and you're going to be T. Mac.
Oh, man. Man. That's crazy, man. The third BM. Appreciate the insight, fellas. You got it, man. Please tune in every Wednesday live, 9 p.m. Reporting Eligible comes to you live. Gerald P goes on to say, good game. I used to live in Monroe, GA, back in Washington, and now salute, Gerald. Great luck to you guys, man. Great luck to you guys on Sunday, man. Hold on, one more. I'm telling y'all, the Bucks and Panthers are about to get a reality check. Stack that injury report. Dude. I don't care. They need to feel it.
Dude,
let's go.
You're gonna after the noon games are done. You're gonna hear this. And you're gonna be like, "What the fuck was that?" That's gonna be Panther fans coming back down to reality.
Yay! Yay! Eric, what's happening, buddy? Says, sorry, guys, I had a potluck at my son's preschool. Hey, brother, family first, man.
Absolutely.
W for dad, man. W for dad and the little guy, man. So shout out to you. Salute to you, man. Thank you. Although it's late, thank you for joining anyways. Hope you catch the replay and leave comments under the comment section of this video. But, Bro Talk, tell the folks where they can find you, man.
Oh, you already know. It's been a hectic work season for me in my personal life. So the long-form content, I've been lacking, and I'm sorry. I'm going to do my best to get it back to you. But at Dirty Bird Central on YouTube, as well as short-form content, and at TikTok, if that's where you get your short-form content, at Dirty Bird Central. And I am still at BK2 on Twitter because you know what? Because I want to.
Boss, man. Thank you so much for the $1.99 bid, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. We definitely appreciate you. Hey, I know
what? That's fine. I'll take your money.
Fire, man. We appreciate you, man. Yes, good luck to you, man. Of course, man, I'm your boy Berto, host of 95 North Falcons Talk Show, and also your other host here on Reporting Eligible, which you can catch every Wednesday live, 9 p.m., man. We peaked at 700. We certainly appreciate everybody that took the time to put eyes on the product. Just before you leave, just run up the likes. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to at Dirty Bird Central and to 95 North Falcons Talk Show. You can also find me on Bleacher Report. I'll be on this Sunday, as I am every Sunday or primetime game, immediately after the game goes final for post-game reaction, breakdown, and analysis. And if you're not tired of seeing moi, Tuesdays, 8 p.m., NFC South Roundtable.
Birdo needs you guys. Get in there.
I love it. Hey, listen, it's an ugly affair. I understand if they don't want to come through. It is definitely a 3-4-on-1 affair. It is the most unfair show to date. But guess what? I don't let nobody talk down to me. I don't give a fuck what they have to say. It's still 10 toes down with my Atlanta Falcons, but we'll give you your Wednesday evening back. Thank you so very much for joining us. And until next week, we got to buy. We'll cook something up. We'll cook something up. There's no we'll go with it. We're going to do a show. We just got to see what we'll do it on. Yeah. We'll do it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to. Leave a suggestion in the comments. Yeah. And you let us know what you want to hear, what you want us to do. We'll oblige and we'll have fun with it, man. Keith Simmons, what's going on, man? All right, everybody, have a great night. Take care, man. Peace up. Hey, down.